Prime News. We're coming to you live from our studios in Accra. My name is Ajua Tinkrama Domina. Coming up in the bulletin, minority in parliament demands urgent government intervention over increasing cholera cases in some parts of the country.
Without immediate and decisive interventions, Ghana risks facing a full-blown cholera epidemic before the incoming administration takes over from the outgoing MPP regime.
Also coming up, Ghana's parliament to wrap up activities for the 8th parliament today. What is expected to happen in the House will be live to bring you update. Still in the bulletin, New Patriotic Party set to meet to determine next minority leader for the 9th parliament following calls for Fenyo marking to be maintained.
The National Party, together with the caucus, will set. There will be a meeting to take decisions on some of these particular matters. And at the right time, when a decision is taken as to who will become the minority leader, I believe that the party will communicate.
And later, as President-elect John Mahama begins his administration in 18 days, we'll hear from some business groups on their expectations of the new administration.
We believe this mandate will lead to an economic development constitution that will propel Ghana to the next heights.
There will be that reconciliation for the city to have a certain strength so that traders in the country will be very happy.
We have details of this and other stories coming your way in the next half. Remember, the news is live across the country on citinewsroom.com. Around the country, we are live on a number of affiliate stations as well. In the Western region, this is Adwempa 100.7 FM in Takwa, Sky Power 93.5 FM in Takrade Beach, 105.5 FM in Takrade. In the Bono region, we are on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyai. In the Shanti region, this is Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi, Orange 107.9 FM also in Kumasi. If you're in the Volta region, tune in to Revival 99.3 FM in Tajavu, VOV Radio 95.7 in Hohoi. In the Northern region, this is Radio Bimbila 91.9 FM. In Upper East, find us on Quality 88.7 FM in Garu. And in the Upper West region, this is Tunsong 97.3 FM in Wa and Jirapa 96.1 FM. Please stay for details.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
We're grateful for your company this afternoon. Let's begin from Parliament, where the Minority Caucus says Ghana risks facing a cholera epidemic if the Akufo-Addo government fails to take immediate and decisive action. The caucus reports that 123 cases and 15 deaths were recorded in the Western region on December 17, with 15 health workers also contracting the disease while attending to patients. Now, addressing journalists, the ranking member on the Health Committee of Parliament, Kwabena Minta Akando, said that the dereliction of duty that contributed to the electoral misfortune of the NPP must not be compounded by their inaction in addressing the public health emergency.
The daily situational report on cholera are deeply alarming. For instance, in the Western region, on December 17th, just 3 days ago, 123 cases and 15 deaths were recorded in a single day. Disturbingly, healthcare workers are also falling victim to the outbreak, with 15 healthcare workers infected while caring for patients in the region. Without immediate and decisive interventions, Ghana risks facing a full-blown cholera epidemic before the incoming administration takes over from the outgoing MPP regime. It is deeply concerning that what could have been a minor cholera outbreak has instead exposed the fragility of our healthcare system. This outbreak, which should have been controlled weeks ago, continues to escalate due to the systemic neglect and inefficiency. The minority urges government to act swiftly and decisively to address these challenges by ensuring resources are adequately allocated and healthcare workers are provided with the support they need to contain the outbreak.
So you heard that Kwabena Minta Akando. He's ranking member on the Health Committee of Parliament. Thankfully, he joins us live on the phone with more details. We also have the Western Regional Environmental Health Analyst, Oliver Cromwell, on the other line to provide perspectives to the cholera outbreak. Let me start with you, Honorable Akando. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon, Manchester. How are you?
Well, we need a clarification. Are you saying that as of December 17, we had 123 cases with 15 deaths, or on December 17, we had 15 deaths from cholera?
Well, so according to your own report, this is the situational report 36, number 36, response to cholera outbreak, Western region. As at the end of 17 December 2024, you realize that there was a particular day which less than 24 hours, they themselves recorded, they said they had recorded 15 deaths. Number of deaths that occurred less than 24 hours on admission. It was 15. It's part of their, report we requested and they submitted to us. So that is what it is. But for me, what is important, my sister, is that there's an outbreak that we should have controlled weeks ago. We thought that this was going to be a very minor outbreak. But as I speak to you now, the rate at which the attrition rate and the infection rate are very alarming. And therefore, there is a need for the service to deal with it, create the awareness, give them the various consumables they need, the reagents and what have you, so that at least we can curb this devastating situation. Not for anybody to come and argue and debate and have a banter. That is not my interest. My interest is to call the authorities to set up and not to hand over disease to the incoming government. I mean, that is not what I expect an Akufo-Addo to do. If there's cholera outbreak, let's try and handle it well, curb the situation before you hand over. They should not attempt to hand over a disease to the incoming government. So I'm not expecting any officer to come and have a banter with me. I have the report right in front of me. That is not what I'm interested in. That's not what I'm doing. The fact of the matter is that there's a cholera outbreak. It's at its peak in Western region. It is a fact that health workers are being infected. People are dying. Even if it is one person, please, we have to curb it immediately. So let us not divert attention. In their own report, they stated that less than 24 hours, they recorded 15 deaths. I can forward it to you. It's a table, and that's what I've given you.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us. As ranking member on the Health Committee of Parliament, Kwabena Minta Akando. As I announced earlier, we also have the Western Regional Environmental Health Analyst, Oliver Cromwell, on the line. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, and good afternoon.
Very well. You've listened to the minority. Clearly, they are worried. But from your desk, what are the figures you can give us?
Yeah, actually, I didn't hear what he said. But what we have here is that as at 17th December 2024, the cumulative reported cases that we have is 1,741. Then 17th December alone, we had 3 cases. And 17th December, we had one death. And then the cumulative asset from 4th November 2024 to 17th December 2024, we have 16 deaths.
So as at now, how many people have died from cholera?
16.
Okay. And then you're confirming to us that as of 17 December or on 17 December, only one person died from cholera?
Yes, one person.
Right. We do know that you've put in place some measures to curb the increase. For instance, you've placed a ban on vegetable vending in the region. How is that going? Are food vendors complying to that?
Actually, they comply with the directives, and going around to ensure enforcement, we realized that they are doing it. What we also did was that we ensured that they all have hand washing facility before they serve, which they have started complying. And then we had a lot of education with the food vendors, with the vegetable sellers, and all those things. Apart from that, we also did our risk communication on hand washing facility, where everybody should wash his or her hands continuously, at least 30 to 1 hour. And all those, we did all those things, and then we also ensured that the city is clean, but by evacuating the refuse and increasing our risk communication in various areas.
Right. Now, tell me, are these measures ensuring a decrease in the cases? Because from the figures you're presenting, it does not appear they are.
There is decrease in cases in the metropolis, that is Sekindi, Takrady, but it is now spreading to other MMDs. Initially, we don't have Elembele. Now we have Elembele in it. We didn't have Axum and the rest. Now we are having cases from Axum. And then Taka, we didn't have much cases. And now Taka has also joined. So if you look at it, now we have about 10 MMDs having the cases.
Right. Before I let you go, is it a cause for worry? And would you agree to the fact that like what a minority said in Parliament, that we risk having an epidemic if this is not put under immediate control?
So, in the first place, we are in an outbreak, and we are managing it. It's not alarming as such, because it's not beyond. What is beyond us is the cases at the health facilities, where we don't have some of the places we need to. We don't have beds and all those things for them. But the rest, we are managing it, and is on course.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us. That's Oliver Cromwell. He's a Western Regional Environmental Health Analyst. Earlier, you heard Kwabena Minta-Akanda, who is a ranked member on the Health Committee of Parliament. We'll stay a while longer on cholera, because as part of efforts to prevent a cholera outbreak in the Fantiakwa North and South districts of the Eastern region, the Education Directorate, in collaboration with the Ghana Health Service and World Vision Ghana, has intensified public education, surveillance and sensitization campaigns in basic schools across the two districts. Speaking to City News, the School Health Education Program Coordinator for the district, Dorothy Donko, highlighted that limited access to potable water poses a significant challenge to maintaining both personal and environmental hygiene in schools within the area.
We need a lot, because apart from what World Vision has been giving us, the hand washing stations and other things, we are not getting any help from the government per se. Though I may say World Vision is doing it in the name of the government, but they have their communities that they work in. So those communities that are not World Vision catchment areas are not getting the benefit that their communities are getting. So we want the government to give us more of the hand washing stations and supply us drain boreholes in most of the schools that we don't have there.
That's Dorothy Donko. She's the School Health Education Program Coordinator for the Fantiakwa North and South District. Now, the Fantiakwa South District Environmental Health Analyst Harrison Yembe has stated that a team will persist in educating students to promote improved environmental health within their communities.
There's the need for us to enter into our educational institutions to sensitize them on the cholera case and preventive measures that are supposed to be put in place. So through the help of World Vision, we've engaged 4 schools in Fantiakwa North. That has to do with Abosu RCGHS, Oboho DAGHS, Akradaku DAGHS, and then Amahumasu DAGHS. So myself and the district SHEP coordinating director for Fantiakwa North went through these schools to educate the learners to know the importance of these preventive measures, when put in place, will reduce the spread of cholera. And we did that by meeting the schools, training them what they are supposed to do.
You heard Fantiakwa South District Environmental Health Analyst Harrison Yengbe. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News. When we return, as John Mahama begins his administration in 18 days, some business groups have been listing their expectations on his new administration. We'll bring you that and other stories after this. Please stay.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Channel 1 TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on Channel 363. On GoTV, we're on Channel 117. And on HD+, get us on Channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search. But take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Channel 1 TV. Channel 1 TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box, like the DSTV and HD+ boxes. Channel 1 TV, telling your story, empowering change.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back to the bulletin. Thank you for your company. Let's bring you some other stories. Traders Advocacy Group Ghana has called on President-elect John Dramani Mahama and the incoming government to prioritize addressing the depreciation of the cedi when they assume office. President-elect John Mahama, during his campaign, pledged to tackle countless challenges of the business sector. Now, speaking to Citi News, the General Secretary of the group, Emmanuel Nana Opoku-Echampong, expressed confidence in President-elect John Mahama's proposed policies, highlighting the potential to create a more favorable business environment.
Cedi-dollar relationship will come down. They will have a very good relationship. It will not be like dollar beating cedi all the time at his tenure. Definitely, there will be that reconciliation for the cedi to have a certain strength so that traders in the country will be very happy.
That's the General Secretary of the Traders Advocacy Group Ghana, Emmanuel Nana Opoku-Echampong. Meanwhile, the Association of Ghana Industries, AGI, has expressed confidence in President-elect John Mahama's ability to implement tax reforms that will drive economic growth. Speaking at a meeting with John Mahama, President of AGI, Dr. Humphrey Ayim Dake, highlighted that Mahama's track record and experience in governance gives the association optimism that his administration will prioritize policies that stimulate economic activity.
We believe this mandate will lead to an economic development constitution that will propel Ghana to the next heights. The association recalls about 2 months before the election, His Excellency had an opportunity to meet the Association of Ghana Industries. We offered a number of proposals into the manifesto. I carefully recalled tax reforms as one of our proposals, exchange rate initiatives and interventions, agriculture intervention with your big push agenda. And we believe commercial agriculture will be one of the beneficiaries of the big push. Another one that pleases us is the public-private partnership initiatives. And currently, I can go back to look at the airport project, which was under that PPP, that of the MPS project.
All right, we apologize. We understand the voice we were playing for you. It's not being heard on radio, but we're bringing you the insert of the Association of Ghana Industries President, Dr. Humphrey Ayim Dake, who is expressing confidence in the ability of President-elect John Mahama to be able to stabilize the business community. We'll bring you that insert in subsequent bulletins. But let's move on to some other stories. Now, the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, has issued a stern warning against further delays in presenting the expenditure in advance of appropriation for January to March 2025 by the Finance Minister, Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam, The warning comes after the finance minister failed to present the document to Parliament on December 19 for consideration and approval. Once approved, the expenditure in advance of appropriation will allocate funding for government operations during the first quarter of 2025. We have been joined on the phone lines by our parliamentary correspondent, Ni Ayikwe Okain, for more on this. Ayikwe, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Hello, Ayikwe, if you can hear me, I want to find out what is the demeanor or the mood in Parliament today, because we do understand that today ends the last meeting of the 8th Parliament. Tell us what you can observe in the House.
Well, so Adwa, I can say that the House is expected to rise today for the Christmas festivities, and obviously that will be the end of the 8th Parliament. Officially, a session was expected to start at 11 a.m., but as it stands now, proceedings are yet to begin. So we are expecting that in no time we will have some of the MPs coming in to the chamber, and then subsequently the Speaker would also join in or chair proceedings for today. And we are expecting that today being the last day, the Finance Minister, Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam, would be in the House to actually lay before it the expenditure in advance of appropriation for January to March 2025. This is basically a mini budget that is expected to cater for government expenses from 1st January before the incoming government presents its actual budget for the rest of the year. So as it stands now, session hasn't started. We are expecting MPs to come in very soon, and then the Speaker would also join in for the House to also take its shape. Since Monday, we've been expecting to see the Finance Minister, but he hasn't been able to undertake this constitutional exercise. And the information that was provided by the leadership of the House was that because he's also serving on the transitional team, he's been quite occupied. However, the assurance from the second Deputy Majority Whip, Habib Idrisu, yesterday was that we are going to see the Finance Minister do the needful today. And the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagman, also noted that this is going to be done under certificate of urgency, which means that surely the 2025 mini budget would have to be approved today before the House rises for the Christmas festivities. The indication that we've had from the House is that if this constitutional exercise is not undertaken, it would have dire consequences, because it will be very difficult for the government to make any expenses, because there wouldn't have been any budget to that effect. Besides, the swearing in of the newly elected members of Parliament, as well as the newly elected President, John Dramani Mahama, would also face some setback, as well as even the presentation of the State of the Nation address by President Akufo-Addo, which is scheduled for early next month, Ajwa.
Right. Now, we also understand the Minister for Education was expected in Parliament yesterday, but that couldn't happen. Is he part of the people you're expecting today?
Well, so yesterday we were expecting to see the Education Minister, just as you indicated, for him to update the House on measures government is putting in place to ensure that the indebtedness to WAEC is settled. But we didn't see that happen. We are hoping that Dr. Yawse Bichum would also avail himself to apprise the House on this particular critical matter, because WAEC has indicated that this is one of the key reasons that we haven't the WASI results for the year 2024 being delayed. So we are hoping that the Education Minister, Dr. Yawse Bichum, would also at least be available in the House today to update members on what exactly government is doing to deal with the situation.
Thank you very much. That's Ni Ayikwe Okain, our parliamentary correspondent, bringing us up to speed with what exactly we are to expect in the House as the 8th Parliament rises. Now, away from that, the Minority Chief Whip Gavins Kwame Agbodza has defended his claims that the construction of the e-gate system at the Kotoka International Airport cost the taxpayer $250 million. Now, this comes after the Ghana Immigration Service denied the allegations, arguing that the e-gate system alone, comprising 15 units of e-gate with accessories, which forms part of a broader management system being installed at the KIA, cost $1.7 million. Now, in a statement, Gavin Abuja said the facts available to him indicate an inflated cost for the project by the Ministry of Finance. Charles Owusukumi has excerpts of the statement.
Margins Group submitted a proposal to the Ministry of Finance on a project they call Homegrown Border Security at a total cost of about $296 million. This proposal was reviewed and watered down from Ministry of Finance after technical officers started punching holes into the whole scheme. Margins Group, sensing trouble over the deal, revised their cost to $147 million. With the cost reduced to $147 million, Ministry of Finance sought to pass the transaction, ostensibly because they were under pressure from the Vice President office to pass the deal. Remember, the Vice President had already gone public to make an announcement about some e-gates in the offing. It became a concern when their financial proposal was subjected to sensitivity analysis to understand how realistically the proposed revenue streams earmarked could be realized. They proposed to charge $50 for the e-gate.
Those were excerpts of a statement released by Minority Chief Whip Gavin Abuja on the cost involved in the construction of the E-Gate at the Kotoka International Airport. Now, the governing New Patriotic Party, the NPP, is set to meet in the coming days to determine the next minority leader for the 9th Parliament. Ahead of the decision, calls have already emerged for the current majority leader and MP for Efutu, Alexander Penyomakin, to be retained as the leader of the NPP side. Notably, the first Deputy Speaker of Parliament and MP for Bekwai, Joseph Oseiwusu, has endorsed Penyomakin for the role. Now, speaking to City News on the matter, Deputy General Secretary of the NPP, Haruna Mohammed, confirmed that the party's leadership will soon convene to decide on who will lead the party in the 9th Parliament.
We have heard several proposals from individuals of our party, and what you have just mentioned is not an exception. But what the norm has always been is that the National Party, together with the caucus, will set. There will be a meeting to take decisions on some of these particular matters. And at the right time, when a decision is taken as to who becomes the minority leader, I believe that the party will communicate, and this will definitely reflect on the 7th of January, where Parliament will be sworn in. So we ask everybody to remain calm whilst leadership of the party decides who leads Parliament.
That's the Deputy General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, Haruna Mohammed. Now, musical duo Keche has assured patrons of the 2024 Situation All-White Party a night full of dance and excitement. The event, set for Tuesday, December 24, will take place at the Underbridge in East Legon, Accra, and is organized by Channel 1 TV and Citi FM. Patrons can choose from enticing packages, including the Platinum Table, which is 12,000 Ghana cedis, the Diamond Table going for 10,000 Ghana cedis, and the Gold Table going for 6,000 Ghana cedis. Now, speaking on Branching the City on Citi FM, the duo promised an unforgettable evening filled with energy and entertainment.
Tuesday, very deadly. Seriously, very deadly. We are so much ready. It was the last year on, and there was one thing about situation.
Yeah.
When you are coming from the house, no matter mood or woman, immediately you get there, as any jibu around, as an a mood no call. You can't sit down. You have to be on your feet, so we close. Well, it's say yeah, artists na yeah, best stage in the bed door. Yeah, and say you need me. Seriously, Tuesday one.
Listen, let me tell you something. Anytime we are up on stage, we give 100% and we leave another 100% in the box.
Hey, percent now, what they saying now?
Okay, so what you saw there was 100% performance, beautiful. Yet we still have 100 in the box. Last year we had Party of the Year, which we were talking about the African foods, right? I mean, it's all about party. Now, after we enjoying all the food with Party of the Year, now we are satisfied, so we are about to kiss.
Blowing kisses.
Yeah, exactly. So you see, every year there is something new with Keche. Every year. And then by God's grace, these guys, those Keche guys, they don't go wrong.
So you heard musical duo Keche. You will expect them at Situation All White Party on Tuesday, December 24. 24, December 24. So do well to come. If you haven't grabbed your table, what are you waiting for? This is where we draw the curtains on today's edition of the Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studio in Adabraka, rather Tesano in Accra. My name is Adjoatin Kramadomna, but you can log on to citinewsroom.com for more stories. Have a good afternoon.
City News. We speak first.